grab a mop and a bucket because here comes the bloodbath. G'day guys, MAT5 here, and today I'll be reviewing Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number, a 2D action psychological thriller that was developed by Dennaton games that I reviewed on the PlayStation 4. The game focuses on a variety of colourful characters where you get to play as mobsters, vigilantes, police officers, and so on. The plot is all over the place. There are so many characters you play as in the game, and you are constantly thrown back and forward through time, so it's pretty hard to keep up with what's going on. There is so much story going on in this game that it would take me hours to explain and to help you fully understand, but the majority of the stories are dark, twisted, full of psychological issues, and full of hardcore violence. The game takes place before and after the events of the first game, in which the original character Jacket was manipulated to kill the entire Russian mob. So this game explores more of the original's origins, as well as continues the story. The game is played from a top-down view that mostly resembles old-school games like the original Grand Theft Auto, and also the visuals are inspired by games of that era. The presentation is simple but effective, as you never leave the top-down view, and there's no dialogue in the game as it relies on text speeches. Another old school aspect is the 80s inspired soundtrack that is absolutely awesome. I thought the first game had a great soundtrack, but this game takes it to the next level. The soundtrack absolutely complements the game and is a blast to listen to while taking down hundreds of enemies throughout the game. The gameplay consists of you to kill a lot of bad guys with a variety of weapons, from melee punches, blunt objects to extreme firepower like the M60. There is a lot of weapons in this game and you will need to master all of them and your tactics if you want to survive. The Hotline Miami series is known for challenging, unforgiving gameplay that if you make the slightest mistake then you will most likely die. Dying is half the battle, since most of the time you will die from one hit or one shot, but thanks to instant restarts it makes for a fluid dying experience. So you really need to take your time, learn enemy placements, and cross your fingers and hope not to die. Combat is fast, furious, and often anticlimactic, but also it is bloody, it is gory, it is in-your-face violence, even in pixel form. Hotline Miami stands as one of the most violent games in recent memory, and this sequel does not disappoint, and is probably more gory than the first game. A big difference over the original game is that you get to play as a variety of different characters set in a variety of different and sometimes exotic locations in different points of time. Each character feels unique and usually have different abilities or personal weapons for you to utilize. I found this to be awesome, however it does mean the game is more linear now, as you rarely get to choose who you want to be and what ability you want. There's a character that can dodge, one that can instant kill with punches but can't use any weapons, one character rarely kills enemies and doesn't use guns, and even a character that dual wields machine guns. This helps keep the action fresh, but like I said, takes the freedom away from the player to choose the way that they want to play. Also, I am extremely happy to say that there is no boss battles in this game. They were an absolute hate of mine from the original game, and I actually didn't bother finishing the first game because the boss battle turned me off it. The developers obviously learned their lesson because there is none in this game, and that's awesome. Unfortunately, the downside for me, besides the confusing story, was that overall the game doesn't add anything amazing or new in terms of visuals and overall gameplay. Sure, they added weapons and interesting characters to use, but part of me just wanted something to be different. Different visuals, more gameplay variety, something to make me think that this is an awesome sequel that tops everything the first game did. And since I read that this is supposed to be the last game in the series, it just saddens me. I wanted the series to finish with a bang, but sadly it just never really happens. Also, I don't remember if the first game was this bad, but man, the AI of enemies in this game is dumb as doornails. Some of the worst AI in a video game. They get stuck in the environment, see or hear you and not act on it, and even see someone dead or killed right in front of them, and they don't have a care in the world. Seriously, this is horrible AI. Also, the lock-on feature is difficult to use most of the time. It usually locks on to the enemy that you don't want, and this mistake results in frustrating deaths. So overall, Hotline Miami 2 does improve on some little things, but in all all honesty, it's almost the same game as the original. So if you enjoyed the first game, then chances are you will enjoy this too, just don't expect anything to come out and blow your mind. I give Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, a 7 out of 10. It's such a shame that the game didn't blow me away like I wanted it to, and it was just more of the same awesome gory action from the original game, and that is also the game's major downfall. Well, that and the absolute terrible AI that just made me laugh. Despite the major frustrations you will have of this game, you can't deny that the game overall is a hell of a lot of gory, over-the-top fun. More gore, more guns, more characters, more abilities equals more chaos. Just don't expect to be blown away with anything new or exciting, but just the same old fun.